Hey, it's James Lynch. So Tapology just launched their UFC rankings, and I wanted to do a quick video talking about what they came up with. And they did an announcement here on Twitter. They also did a press release, but they say our groundbreaking Tapology UFC rankings are now live. They're the most comprehensive, unbiased UFC fighter rankings you'll find. The proprietary scoring system uses no fan votes and no opinions. It's now live on Tapology. So we're going to go through heavyweight to welterweight today. I'll do a separate video from lightweight to flyweight. Just to give my thoughts. I'll also compare what the UFC rankings have and what Tapology has with their rankings. So we'll go through that right now. I'll give kind of general thoughts. It would take too long if I had to go through every little decision they made and just give some overall thoughts. So we'll start with heavyweight. I've actually split the screen here so you can kind of see things. So right off the bat, what kind of complicates things a little bit is that the UFC has their champion listed. So technically the UFC has 16 rankings, whereas Tapology, they have their top 15, but their number one is also the champion. So that complicates things a little bit, but let's just start from champion as number one for the UFC rankings and number one as the one for Tapology, if that makes sense. So they're both the same with Aspinall. Number two, they have Pavlovich. Number one, they have is Cyril Gane. So that's interesting. Volkov and Volkov. Okay, so they're on the same page there. Then they have Cyril Gane and Sergey Pavlovich. So obviously they've moved Gane 2 spots down. They have gone higher. Jalton Almeida and Curtis Blades. They have Blades and then Almeida. So they have those reversed as well. They have Waldo coming in after that. So Waldo's the same. Derek Lewis with number, so they have Waldo over. So they have Waldo ahead of Tybura on the UFC one. They don't even have Tybura on here. Tybura is way lower. He's actually 2 spots down. Then after Waldo, you have, after Tybura, you have Sergey Spivak. So Spivak they have ahead of Lewis on the UFC rankings. On here, they have Lewis ahead of Spivak. And then coming in at number 10, they have Tybura. Coming in at number 11, they have Shamil Gaziev. Number 11 on here is Valter Walker. Number 12, they have Budai. They have Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. They don't even have de Lima on here. And then Thomas Peterson, they don't have on here. Kennedy and Cheku, they don't have on here. They do have Rizvan Kuniev coming in at their number 16 spot, which would be 15 with Kuniev there. So Kuniev's the same. So I think this all looks pretty good for what Tapology's done. I agree with them in not having Gane as the number one guy because Gane's lost a couple key fights. And I think we can all agree that Gane lost that last fight against Alexander Volkov. At least I thought he did. So I would actually have Volkov ahead of Gane, which is what they have here. I don't know about having Pavlovich over Gane. That's debatable. I think outside that, it looks pretty decent. The only thing I will disagree on the UFC side of things is Tai Tuivasa should not be ranked. And Tybura, I'm trying to remember what he's been up to. He's coming off 2 wins. He should be here. UFC should have Tybura in the rankings as well. So I actually think overall, I think the Tapology one is better for heavyweight. So that's my thoughts on heavyweight. Okay, now let's go to the light heavyweight rankings. So we got Magomed and Kalaev as the champion, and they have here for theirs. Just going to take a sec to load. So they also have Ankalaev. So Ankalaev's the same. Pereira's the same. Yuri's the same. They have Jamal Hill over Alberg. That's a tough one because Jamal's lost 3 in a row. I kind of agree with the UFC one, having Alberg ahead of Hill. So they have Alberg after that. Then they have Khalil Roundtree in that spot. Then they have, for 6, they have Khalil and they have Jan Blachowicz. Number 7, they have Jan Blachowicz. Number 8, they have, or number 7, they have Dominic Reyes, right? Or sorry, it should be behind one. I'm getting mixed up here. So yeah, this should be number 1. So it should always be 1 down. So that's that. Yeah, their 1's there. Number 2's there. So let's go over this one more time. I'm obviously not good at counting numbers here. So yeah, their number 1's the same. Their number 2's the same. Number 3's the same. Number 4, yeah, they have Alberg, and yeah, so it should be 1 higher. So yeah, so again, they have Hill, Alberg where Hill should be. On the UFC side, they have Khalil and they have Alberg there. So they actually have Khalil Roundtree ranked higher than Alberg on this, or sorry, they have Alberg ranked higher on both lists, so that's fine. Don't necessarily disagree with that because again, Khalil lost 2 fights ago. So they have Jan Blachowicz at number 7. They have Jamal Hill at number 6. So would you have Blachowicz over Hill? Hill's lost 3 in a row. Jan's lost 2. I'd be okay with that. They have Dominic Reyes coming in at number 8. Their number 7 is Rakic. So they have Rakic ahead of Reyes on the UFC's list. That's interesting. Johnny Walker coming in at number 9. They don't even have Walker here. Walker on here's 13. Number 10, they have Volkan Ozdemir. Number 10, they have Bogdan. Or sorry, they have Azamat. Bogdan is number 9 over Walker. And then they have Krylov, who's lost 2 in a row. He's coming in at number 12. They have Walker at 13 here. Bogdan lower. And then they have Zhang coming in at number, what would be their number 13 would be Bogdan. And then number 15 would be Alonzo Menafield. Theirs would be Azamat. Okay, so they don't even have Alonzo on here. And then their 16 would be 15 is Felipe Lins over Alonzo Menafield. So yeah, that's interesting. Don't have a huge problem with any of these. I personally would have Johnny Walker a little bit lower just because he's had back-to-back losses now. That's got to put him down a little bit more. Same with Rakic. Rakic, they have 11. Where do they have Rakic here? They have 7, so that would technically be 8. Yeah, I tend to agree with this list a little bit more. I feel like there was one on here that I didn't agree with. Yeah, I don't think Menafield should be ranked at this point when Jacoby is. Yeah, not bad. I think there's a little bit of wiggle room here, but I think for the most part, I think they're doing a better job than the UFC's rankings here. So that's just my overall thoughts. Again, I'm doing this on the fly, guys. I haven't looked at these in depth. Let's look now at 185 compared to what the UFC's got. Okay, so they have Duplessis and then Imavov is the number 1 contender. What do they have here? So they have Dricus and Dricus. That makes sense. Number 2, they have Imavov and they have Imavov. Okay, so that's the same. That's interesting. That Imavov, I think you can make the case for Imavov being over Chimaev just because he has more ranked wins. So I'm kind of fine with that. They have number 3 as Chimaev. They have number 3 technically as Sean Strickland. I kind of agree with Chimaev being ahead of Strickland. Strickland's lost a couple key fights now. Then they have Strickland. Then they have Adesanya. Sorry, they basically have Strickland and Chimaev the other way around. I tend to agree with the Tapology side. They have number 5 is Adesanya. They have number 4 as Adesanya, so that's the same. They got Caio Borralho at number 6. Their number 5 is Reiner de Ritter. So they have Reiner de Ritter ahead of Caio. Don't agree with that. So I'm more on the Tapology side here. I think, he should be ahead of Reiner de Ritter. Then you've got Fluffy Hernandez. They've got Robert Whittaker ahead of Fluffy Hernandez. Debatable. Again, same sort of thing. I think, Fluffy's been on more of a win streak, but maybe hasn't fought the opposition. Obviously, he's fighting this weekend at the time we're doing this. We'll have to see how that goes. So then they have number 9 being Brendan Allen. They have Jared Cannonier. I would put Cannonier ahead of Allen, personally. Because Allen's lost a couple fights prior to that. I think Cannonier's got better wins. It's not just based off who you fight. It's also on the age and all that. Then they got Delidze in here. They've got, also have Delidze in the right spot, number 11. They have Jared Cannonier, number 11. They have Brendan Allen. So they have Allen and Cannonier flipped on this one. I would personally have Cannonier higher. Whittaker is in at number 12. They have Marvin Vettori. Sorry, they have Paulo Costa in at, number 12 would be number 11 here. So they have Allen over Whittaker. I would put Whittaker ahead of him. They have Marvin Vettori at number 13. They have Marvin Vettori at number, so he would be 14 here. They have Abus here, and they have Vettori ranked higher. I would probably not have Vettori after 3 state decision losses. Gregory Rodriguez, they don't even have Rodriguez on this list. I'm more in tune with that, but I don't like where Vettori's ranked. And then number 15, they have Costa, and number, they would technically have number 15 being number 14 would be Abus, and then number 16 would be Joe Pyfer, where they have Roman Kopylov there instead. This one, I'm kind of leaning more towards the UFC one, although I don't think Kopylov should be ranked over Joe Pyfer. I don't mind having Abus in here either. He's been on quite a roll. Vettori's the one I have big issue with on this list, and I also think Cannonier should be ahead of Allen, but maybe I'm wrong on that. So yeah, those are just some quick thoughts on that. And then we'll go to our final one here in this video today, and then I'll do lightweight after that in a separate video. Just don't want to keep you guys too bored here. So their rankings at 170 look like this. Really curious to see how they did these ones, because welterweight's a bit of a logjam. It's kind of tough to figure out who's who. Okay, so they have Jack at number 1, Bilal. So they technically have Jack at number 1, Bilal at number 2. They have Jack at number 1, Bilal number 2. Interesting. Yeah, I can understand it because Bilal's a former champion. So they have Leon Edwards at number 3. They have Leon technically at number 4 here. So that would make sense because, yeah, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, sorry. They have Shavkat at number 4. So they have Leon at 3. I wonder why, though. Maybe because he's lost 2 fights, but he didn't look competitive in either of those fights. I would almost drop him down a little bit more. So they go Jack. Let's just do their top 5 and the other top 5. That'll be easier. So their top 5 is JDM, Bilal, Leon, Kamaru, and Buckley. Their top 5 is JDM, Bilal, Brady. So they have Brady in the top 5, which they don't here. And then, or no, they do have Brady here. They have Brady at number 2. And then Shavkat, Leon, and Usman. So they don't have Shavkat in the top 5 here. I disagree with that. Shavkat hasn't lost. He should be in this top 5. Then we're going from 6 to 10, which again, technically would be their 5. So they have from 6 to onwards, they would have Kamaru, Gary, Morales, Buckley, Covington, Burns. And they would have Brady, Shavkat, Colby. Colby's ranked higher than Carlos Prates. And then they have Colby at number 9. They have Colby at number 8. So the Colby ranking's the same. Shavkat 7, they're number 6. So they have Shavkat as in a place of Ian Gary. Where is Ian Gary on here? He's not even high up here. So Ian Gary, how is Ian Gary below Carlos Prates? He just beat him. That doesn't make any sense. Then they've got Jeff Neal at number 11. They've got Gilbert Burns at number 10. Debatable. Yeah, that's fine. Number 12 is Michael Morales. Number 11 for theirs, Jeff Neal. So they have Morales over Jeff Neal. I agree with that. Renat is number 13. They don't even have Renat on here. Number 14 is Daniel Rodriguez on their list. Number 14 here is Kevin Holland. And then number 15, they have Randy Brown. They have number 14, Gabriel Bonfim. And they have Rodriguez at the number 15 spot. So they still have... See, this is another issue I have. The UFC rankings have Michael Venom Page on here. He's fighting at middleweight next. So he should be out of the ranking. So they smartly had Michael Venom Page out of this list. My only thing is, I think Colby's ranked way too high at number 8. I think Ian Gary should not be number 10. He should be much higher than this. I guess because they're looking at who he's beat, which technically would be just Prates. And then he lost a close fight to Shavkat. So I guess he's beat like Neal and these guys. But I don't know how Prates is ranked higher than Ian Gary or Colby. I would put Ian Gary ahead of them as well. So some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff on here I don't like. And I think Colby should be out of the rankings, honestly, on both these lists. Because Colby has barely fought. And I thought they're kind of talking about activity there. So yeah, debatable with this list here. I think there's some stuff that's been shifted around a little bit, but I think for the most part, it's the same. But for me personally, I wouldn't have Colby ranked so high. And I would definitely have Ian Gary ranked higher than Carlos Prates, especially since he just beat him. So yeah, that's heavyweight to welterweight. Again, wanted to split these videos up a little bit. I know I'm kind of going on the fly and I probably got some numbers mixed up, so I apologize for that. But what do you think of these rankings right now? Do you agree with how Tapology is doing it? What are some that stick out to you that we've talked about here today? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to go record lightweight to flyweight right now, so keep your eyes tuned for that. But I wanted to do a quick thoughts on the rankings. I think this is good for the sport. I think it's good to have more rankings. Tapology has been a very legit site for a number of years, so I'm totally fine with them doing their own rankings. And I think it's something that we can just debate going forward. So let me know in the comments what you think of Tapology's rankings and how they compare to the UFC. And appreciate you watching. And I'll have part 2 out here shortly. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.